The mountains were calling me, the snow was so deep, avalanches were thundering, the sounds of your sleep. I slipped out of bed and I put on my bib, waxed up my fat.
Hello, I'm Peyton Higgison, a Telemark historian, and that was the voice of Richard Tensington, beginning his most famous Telemark love song, On My Knee for You. If the name Richard Tensington doesn't ring a bell, well, that's because most of you may know Richard by his nom de plume, Sir Lord High Mountain Telebutt. Today we'll learn a little bit more about Sir Telebutt, and with the help of footage sent in by teleskiers from around the world, shed some light on his famous songs. Sir Lord High Mountain Telebutt is one of the more mysterious figures, some even think a myth of Telemark lore. Reputed to be the all-time greatest Telemark skier, his feats of daring are still discussed in reverent whispers at Telemark gatherings. He carried a quiver of skis upon his back and could change skis in mid-air. He was the Telemark version of Evel Knievel, telemarking everything from the Eiffel Tower to skiing off a balcony onto Elton John's grand piano. He was a guide for the rich and famous, taking those that could afford it to his secret powder stashes around the world, and he was knighted by the Queen of England for his many feats of daring. As this rare footage testifies, he was also the man to reintroduce Telemark skiing to the civilized world. We'll take a look at a young Richard Tensington at the very beginning of his journey into Telemark. You will see him here as a mere lad, struggling to learn the turn that would one day be loved by so many. Amazing footage. Now, although Sir Telebutt is still known today as the greatest Telemark skier of all time, only those skiers from the last century, specifically the 70s and 80s, might recall that he was also the best-known Telemark minstrel of the time. No Telemark skier in those days would be caught dead without at least one Telemark song going through his or her head. And chances are that song was Sir Telebutt's On My Knee for You, a song he wrote for his young wife, Melissa Tensington. Now, some of you might be aware that there's been some controversy surrounding this song. Those historians who've not studied the life of Sir Telebutt as extensively as I may feel upon reading the lyrics of On My Knee for You that Sir Telebutt was a selfish, egotistical, self-centered, chauvinistic, stereotypical guy, but in fact, if you look behind the words and deep into the heart of the man, you will see a sensitive, highly emotional, caring person, deeply in love with life, Telemark skiing, and his wife and his child. Let's listen to the song.
The mountains were calling me, the snow was so deep, avalanches were thundering, the sounds of your sleep. I slipped out of bed and I put on my bib, waxed up my fatties, blew a kiss to the kid. I knew you would not be happy that I left you alone to shovel the walk and to answer the phone. As I put on my skins and bent my poles into shape, I made a promise to think of you every turn that I make. I'm on my knee for you, darling, on my knee for you, babe. Every turn that I make, I think of your sweet face. On my left knee in powder, my right knee in fluff, and I'm home to you, darling, when I've skied enough. that's what I do. The first time I kissed you, in your ear I did say, that there's no friends or lovers on a fresh powder day. And now the snow, it's like feathers, and the sun's in my eye. The feeling's so sweet, I just wanna cry. Face shots cover up the sky so blue. As I jump a cornice, I think only you. On my knee for you, darling, on my knee for you, babe. Every turn that I make, I think of your sweet face. On my left knee in powder, my right knee in fluff. And I'm home to you, darling, when I've skied enough. Now the sun's going down and the snow, it's all tracked. So my bindings for climbing, I heft on my pack. See our light in the distance, and I ski down to you. 'Cause I know that you know me, and you got some hot food. I'm on my knee for you, darling, on my knee for you, babe. Every turn that I make, I think of your sweet face. On my left knee in powder, my right knee in fluff. And I'm home to you, darling, when I've skied enough. On my left knee in powder, my right knee in fluff. And I'm home to you, darling, when I've skied enough.
What can one say? One of the most moving Telemark love songs of all time, as sung by none other than Sir Lord High Mountain Telebutt himself, from a recording done years ago. I would like to thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope you enjoyed our closer look at this classic song and the amazing man that wrote it. I would also like to thank the Telebutt Archival Society for their generous help, and the many Telemark skiers from around the world that donated powder footage for the movie. You know, in another classic Telebutt song, All I Want, the Telemeister says the following: all I want is to be loved unconditionally. All I need is to jump cliffs more efficiently. All I ask is for deep powder in my own bar, and to get my songs into the pages of Kuar. Well, Sir Telebutt never did get his songs into the now defunct Telemark magazine Kuar, but he did make his way into all of our hearts. And I don't think any of us could ever make a Telemark turn without knowing that out there somewhere, in the secret powder stashes of the world, Sir Lord High Mountain Telebutt is smiling and glad that you are not where he is, stealing his line. Thank you, and good night.
Well, many of you that know me think my life is just full of skiing, with no worries about the future, just this constant task of being the best. Tele skier sometimes leaves me feeling blue, 'cause after you've done it all, what else is there left to do? My career's been hard on my girl. I can't tell you what this job's cost her. I've fallen and I've broken more bones than John Hinckley's written letters to Jodie Foster. All the money that I make I put back into the business, but she's not happy 'cause it means buying lots of poles and boots and more skis. Well, all I want is to be loved unconditionally, and all I need is to jump cliffs more efficiently. And all I ask is for deep powder in my own bar, and to get my songs into the pages of Kuar.